Okay, so we're working on a bug. This one here was the problem. Let's recompile everything. Farmers compile. It's kernels compiling. So let's see. This was the bug that we found. Okay, and you just have a multi-event. Well, I can start Sakai up here. By the way, this is something I've been working on for about 8 hours, and most of it you've seen. The last 3 hours I did this morning, and I didn't bother because I thought I would never figure this out. But after about 3 hours this morning, so I did. Yesterday I probably did around 5 hours, and I did about 2 to 3 hours this morning. And actually, I know what's wrong now, and I'm just wrapping up. So you're seeing the happy ending on this one. So I'll explain what happened and why I was so confused, and it took me so long to get it right, because it sort of was a very misleading thing. I literally had put in probably about 150 print statements, which I have since taken out by just reverting everything. I still got a copy of the version with all those print statements. But, so this is what ultimately happened. So if you had a thing where the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it started on the 15th, you'd go to the next one, it would stay the 15th. And I found a line of code that was here in calendar, and I didn't know why, but I gotta stop. Okay. Yikes, I didn't fix this. What? Oh, did I? Oh, yes, I did. Come back. Oh, yeah. Okay, so the first thing I did is I realized if you delete this line, this line was introduced in this SAC 23076. So if you look back a long time ago, before we were even GitHub, this was the modification, and this was added to fix a different bug. And the bug that it was fixed, so I'm deleting that to fix my bug. But then I reintroduced this bug. So this was a 1 minute off bug, and if you look, this is what it looked like, 6:59. And so what happened is by fixing this bug, we fixed this part here. That became 7, but this date started being wrong. And so this fix here, really didn't fix it. It just sort of reset it back to the base date, which had the right range. Okay, so once I fixed this problem that I was fixing, of once you use frequency settings, the event date was the original date. I fixed that, but then I reintroduced this. So then I had to dig up was why this really was happening. And it turns out it's a classic off by one problem, except that it was even more subtle. And so what happens is there's this code here. There's this code here. It's up now. There's this code here that implements the time range. And time range is really a clever thing. Come on, not there. No. Time ranges have this idea that they're a range that may or may not. So it's kind of like in math where you have like a range that includes the ends or doesn't include the ends, right? It includes the ends or it doesn't include the ends. And so what happens is this time range understands that. And so if you look at this get time function, which I used like 100 times, so this get time, or getting the first time, it had this fudge factor that basically said if the start was included, meaning you got the real time, and if the start was not included, it added a 1 millisecond fudge. And the same is true for the end time. And that can be fine because sometimes when you're trying to do, does this time range overlap with that time range, you don't want it to mistakenly overlap. If this is from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock and this is 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock, they technically don't overlap, except that we just say 1 to 2, not 1 to 159. So we have this thing where and so the problem then was when we're doing these multi-events, what it was doing was it was using these fudge times. And so you can say, don't do fudging, don't do any fudging. And so what I did was, if you look at this, what I did was I got rid of this code right here, this was getting the fudged time, fudged end time minus fudge begin time, subtracting that to get duration. So at duration, why would you want it fudged? And so what you can do is you can put in this fudge factor to say, I want no fudging going on. And that's what's basically happening. Get the actual duration. Because other code was using this duration as a way to take the Monday, Wednesday, Friday event that happened for the next 27 weeks and replicate it. But it was using this duration. And that's what caused this line right here is what caused this bug from 2013, not what this code thought it was, right? The code tried to add this adjuster, but it didn't do it. So it actually just reset it, and that's what messed it up. So I end up with 2 lines of code. Actually, I should just take that line out. I should just edit that back out. So now if I do a get diff, because this really ends up being 2 lines of code. I mean literally 2 lines of code. Right? So this is undoing the previous thing that messed it up, which that was the fix to this one that caused this one. But then this here is the actual fix to this one, which is really kernel code, because this thought it was not kernel code. So I had to make a whole new JIRA. So this is that JIRA. Okay, now I'm going to show you this code working now, and it's going to be like so boring. Why? Because it just finally works. Now again, this is 8 hours of work on my part, and the reason it was 8 hours of work is I would have never in a million years believed that getting the end time had a fudge factor associated with it. I didn't look at it closely. I just spent so much time printing this out and debugging, and sometimes it would be like a 0000, and other ones would be 99999. Like, what exactly happened? And at some point I found my way into this code and I printed it, and I'm like, wait a sec, the actual value inside this object is right, but I'm printing the wrong value out. And then I'm like, oh, this changes it. I would have called this like get tweaked time, but whatever. How come that get diff showed that again? I thought I fixed that. Yeah, okay, so there's only two. This is it. How did that get somewhere else? Okay, so this, I kept printing this stuff out over and over and over again. And it would, seeming for no reason, go from the right number to the right number minus 1. But it was my print that was actually printing out the right number minus 1. And then this duration was the thing that ultimately broke the code. And so if I go log in, go to Mercury, go to calendar, oh, it's so happy now. I'll go to next week. And so the problem really became in the constructing of this URL. And this URL had this 99999, instead of being 18, 18, which is the time 4 o'clock. Yeah, 4 o'clock. 18000, it was like 17599999. So it was 59 minutes, 59 seconds, and 999 milliseconds. So it was 1 millisecond less. And because of that, this link was then driving this display. And it was just looking at that. And so what he was doing in the mistaken code was, this code right here was actually just kind of copying the old one. So that's July 17th. The original, so that's the original one, and you go to the next one, and it's July 19th, right? So it was just copying July 17th here over and over and over again, and it was fixing this because then it wasn't getting a 1 millisecond less. So with these two fixes, I fixed both of these. They're all three. One is a JIRA. This is the one I'm reverting. Okay? So, I am going to let's go back to comments. Once that is in, okay. I've got to log in. I'm inverting this in SAC 30793 since it is now properly fixed in Kano 1536. Okay, so we're good. We've tested everything. It's only 2 lines of code, but I'm going to make 2 little branches for this. So I'm going to say get status, and I'm on master. I'm going to say get checkout -b. Well, I'm going to fix this. Let's see. I'll fix that. I'm going to make this change be under Kano. Get commit dot. I only want to commit one of the files here, not both of them. Oops. Okay. Get push origin. So let's send in a pull request for that. What? Oh, crap. It's origin. Oh. Okay, thought I was going crazy there for a second. No, go back. There we go. Compare and pull across. So I'm requesting some reviewers on this. It's a big deal. Okay, so now I still have that change that's in calendar. So I'm going to check out master just for yucks. And then I'm going to go check out -b. This is going to fix SAC. .793. Git commit. Oops. So up that one goes, and now we go back into my GitHub repo. And we'll pull that one. So I made a pull request. Let's add Earl. And Sam. Whoa, pull requests are up like around 50. Do I have any sitting out here right now? So they're both waiting for review, and they're both being independently both Travisified, being Travisized. That's 29 seconds. It takes about 24 minutes to run Travis on this stuff. But hey, you can't, with QA, you can't be too picky. Okay, so that was pretty crazy. If you want, got a YouTube Dr. Chuck streaming that all these are here, and this is Sakai July 08, and there'll be a third one. So 44 minutes, 3 hours. I skipped a 2-hour one, and now it's about another, how long we got? Only 20 minutes is all it took. So there'll be 3 Sakai July 08s when I'm done. So there we go. Did I forget to tweet this? I probably forgot to tweet this, but that's okay. So so thanks for watching. SakaiProject.org. This is ultimate, super ultimate Truman Show, and that if you really watched all of this, you are about 5 hours in on one bug. I mean, the bug that got me started was this one right here. And one of my students was working on this, and he spent a lot of time, and it took me 8 hours to ultimately fix this. And so, I mean, Hunter might have been smarter than me, but it was a hard one to fix. But that's okay, because it's an off by one error. Off by one errors are really hard to catch because they just sort of sneak in at the wrong time. And I was misled by the name of the method. Right, this last time I thought, oh, that would never do anything except give me back the time. Oh no, it adjusts it. So there you go. So we're good. I hope this doesn't introduce any like bugs of its own. And see you later. See you on the net.